Alrighty, so our mission today is to get a Pinterest button into blog post here. You know, like the social buttons that we might have down here for like Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. So the deal with Pinterest is usually the little button likes to have an image associated with it and a title or a description or in a link. So that when you click on it, you're taken to their share mechanism. And this actually is not really possible out of the box with Business Catalyst. They don't really make it easy to tack an image to such a feature or little widget. So we're just going to use some JavaScript to get this job done. So jQuery to the rescue. First place we're going to start is we're going to, inside of our site, in this particular template here that we were just looking at, I'm going to go to the layouts folder and then the blog layout. And I've got some JavaScript that I'm going to kind of fold into the mix here to make this work. But the first thing we need to do is look at this example HTML here. Now here's all the JavaScript at the top of the page that we're going to be using. And then down here I've got some fake kind of blog posts. So I've got a wrapper here where this is a wrapper with a HTML class of blog-posts. And then here I've got each blog post. Okay, so I've kind of emulated this locally to make sure it'll work. And I need to plug this in to a Business Catalyst blog. Okay, whenever you try and get a Pinterest button on your site, they give you a little bit of JavaScript, this whole script here that calls their JavaScript. So I'm going to need to get that into the page. So first things first, I'm going to add that to my blog template. So just down at the footer of the blog. So I'll open up my blog template and I'm just going to hack this into the bottom here. And I'll publish that. So that's one thing I need to do. And then the next thing I need to do is create a little container for the actual Pinterest button. And I'm going to do that for both the blog post list view and the blog detail view. So that is going to be here, post. And the place where I want this button to show up in this case is just right below the little comments section, right above the comments, but right below these three links here. So on list view it's going to fall right below here, and then on detail view it'll fall right below there, which is above the comments. So I'm making a little container there. So there it is. It's a little div. It's an empty div with the HTML class of Pinterest-button. And I need to do the same thing to the that was the post detail, this is the post list, so I'll fire that into there and I'll upload those to the server. Okay, now normally what you would do is just stick in the provided code that Pinterest will give you to have that button, but we need to perform a little magic, because what we need to do is look at each blog post, grab the name of it, grab the link, and then the first image that is inside of this blog post we're going to use for the image that the user would pin. So pretty much the way this will work is the first image that you have in your blog post, just consider that the image that will be used. Okay? So what we need to do is refer to the JavaScript here, and I'll supply you this code. Pretty much, there's one last thing we need to do. We need to define a class to the wrapper for all these guys, and that's going to be in the overall layout here. So I'm going to go to the overall layout, and here's where all my blog posts are being outputted here. So I'm going to add a class there of blog-posts. Okay, so I can target these with JavaScript. So I'm going to upload that. Okay, so now let's look at our JavaScript here, and I'm just going to add, for this test, I'm just going to add this to the head of the document. But here's what's going on. Our blog wrapper, which we just defined, has this class of blog-posts. Each blog post lives within that, and it's got a class of blog-post, singular. I needed to find the site URL because really the system is doing a good job of just giving us relative URLs, so I'm going to append this to the actual links that we create here in the each function. So for each blog post, we're going to grab the title, so that's going to be the text inside of this heading tag. Pull this over here. And then the blog link itself is going to be the site URL that you define. In this case, it's that. And then we're going to look for the first image and its source attribute. So that's going to define the little post image. And then where is this Pinterest button? Where's that located? And that's going to be inside of the blog post. And remember, we created an empty div with the class of Pinterest-button. So here we just took the code that Pinterest gave us, and we're just going to hack in our information and then add that to the DOM using jQuery for each blog post. Okay, so now I need to get this JavaScript into my site. I'm going to take this chunk of JavaScript here and add it to my scripts file. So in this case, my scripts file is called custom.js, and I'm going to create a new node for this called Pinterest button. And I'm going to paste that JavaScript in there. You could just hack this into the head of your document or into the foot of your document if you wanted to for your blog template, but in this case I wanted to actually get it into my JavaScript here. Now I'll upload that. I'm probably just going to throw one little if up here at the top. And we're just going to take a peek and see if this is actually in the page, and if it is, we'll continue, but if not, don't run all that JS. Alrighty, so I'm going to come out to the front end here and refresh a couple times, make sure that my browser is getting the latest version of JavaScript. I'm going to scroll down and okay, there's my pin it button. So I've got this blog post of another great blog post here, so I'm going to click on that. And there's our image, that's good, and there's the title of our blog post, and it looks like up in here the URL is being passed along real well, as that's what we want. So I'm going to go back and refresh and see if this lower blog post is working too, because we have multiple posts on a page. So this one's called "This is a Test Post." I'll click that, and yep, there's that title, and this is a test post. That's the correct URL to that blog post. Alrighty guys, let's check the detail view. Yep, so that's working great. So with a little bit of jQuery and just adding some classes to your blog layouts, you can pull this Pinterest button off. Enjoy.